Peace will fill the world when we finally understand that only from within can it be spread throughout the land. Every single person living peace in what we do, only then will our dream come true. Only then will our dream come true. Only then will our dream come true.
Good morning, friends. I'm Leona Evans, minister at Unity of San Luis Obispo, an inclusive, progressive, spiritual community affirming the good in all life. Welcome to our Sunday morning live stream. I'm delighted to be here, and I'm thrilled that you chose to spend time with us this morning and also throughout the week. As you can see, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. As a matter of fact, a week from today, we will be holding our Christmas service on our Sunday morning live stream. And of course, we invite you and your family and friends to join us. Today, I want to talk about Christmas, about the meaning of the Christ presence within us, and prepare us for our special candlelighting celebration next week. So, let's take a deep breath and relax, and let us just feel comfortable right where we are. This is a very special and positive and transformative time where we can experience renewed energy, where we can experience renewed hope, and where we can experience a renewed sense of living. So again, take a deep breath and relax. Clear your head of extraneous thoughts. Let us focus our full attention on this present moment, and let us affirm together, I am now in the presence of pure being, immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. Let's speak those words again together. I am now in the presence of pure being, immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. And so it is. Amen. Let us sing a Christmas song with our wonderful Matthew J. Evans.
Good morning. Let's get into the holiday spirit by singing Deck the Halls. Please sing along with the lyrics on the bottom of the screen. Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, fa la 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 la. Told the ancient Yuletide carol, fa la 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 la. See the blazing Yule before us, fa la 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 la. Strike the harp and join the chorus, fa la 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 la. Follow me in merry measure, fa la 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 la. While I tell the Yuletide treasure, fa la 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 la. Fast away the old year passes, fa la 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 la. Hail the new ye lads and lasses, fa la 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 la. Sing we joyous all together, fa la 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 la. Heedless of the wind and weather, fa la 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 la. Merry Christmas!
Thank you so much, Matthew. That was just lovely. Well, Christmas is a time of celebration for all of us. But in Unity and New Thought, we've always put a different spin on Christmas, different from traditional Christian churches. Now, we celebrate the birth of Jesus, but we also celebrate the birth or the rebirth or the continuing process of rebirthing of the Christ Spirit within each of us. You see, we honor Jesus as an elder brother, a teacher, a way shower, and an individual who fully expressed his divine potential for wholeness and oneness. And we honor him because he came to teach that each of us has the Christ Spirit within us. Each of us is divine by nature, and each of us has the capacity to be both fully human and fully divine. So our Christmas service celebrates the light. It celebrates the presence of God within us, and it teaches us how to use our divine powers within us. And of course, the worship experience itself lifts us from the level of our problems to the level of solutions and a new opportunity to go out in the world stronger, more loving, more fulfilled, and just in time to celebrate the new year, during which time we feel strong enough to release and let go of those ideas held in mind that are limiting or negative in nature or that don't produce our desired results. And so this is very exciting, very wonderful for us. There's one thing, however, that has continued to frustrate me over the years about teaching about the Christ presence within us, and that is that every time we say Christ, we're often misunderstood by others, people thinking that Jesus is the only Christ, or that the Christ is not something that's already there, but is something that gets put into us if we behave well or if we get blessed by God. And so today, I want us to prepare for our Christmas candlelighting service next week by talking about exactly what we mean by the Christ presence within us. Now, again, one of our great unity teachers, Eric Butterworth, had this wonderful phrase that I've always enjoyed tremendously. And he said, Christ is not in us like the raisin in the bun or the candle in the lantern. Christ is in us as a drop of water is to the ocean. You see, we always have the Christ presence within us. We are the anointed of God. God is the creative force of life, love, and wisdom. If God is the only creative force and source of life, love, and wisdom, then anything and everything that God creates is filled with the same substance. So, if we were not the Christ presence or the divine I am or the light within, what would we be? There's no other power. Spirit creates of itself, and so we are one with what it is. Do we always know that? No. But does that mean it's not there? No, it is there. It's just not there for us if we don't acknowledge it and recognize it and embrace it. So, our candlelighting service at Christmas time represents the 12 divine gifts that comprise the Christ of our being. Now, to be honest with you, in the Hindu philosophy, there are 7 chakras. In Jewish mysticism, the Kabbalah, there are 10 divine emanations. In unity, there are 12 powers. There weren't always 12, because I'm one of those people that while I was at Unity Village, read all of the Charles Fillmore talks and all of the material in the archives, which are located in a special part of the library. And it is written that at first, Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, thought that there were 4 powers, 4 divine gifts. And then he kept learning and studying and receiving guidance and intuition. And he stopped at 12. In other words, abilities that each of us has that we might or might not be using to our full capacity. These gifts, these abilities, these powers are what we refer to as the Christ. So, are we always using these powers? Yes. Do we always use them wisely? No. Can we misuse or underuse or overuse the powers? Yes. Can we embrace those powers within us and take responsibility for allowing them to express to their highest potential? Absolutely. And that's what Christmas is about. Also, Easter, because we also talk about the Christ presence, and at that point in the Easter story, there are the disciples, which represent each one of the powers. These are 12 divine faculties that we have inherent within us. Now, what frustrates me, to be perfectly honest with you, is when people say, I need more of a particular power. I need more faith. People will always say, I wish I had more faith. Well, it's not that we need more, because everyone has enough. Faith is an idea in the mind of spirit, and we all possess the ability to believe what we don't see. And that's what faith is, the ability to believe or to affirm what we don't see. So when a person is really, really frightened and they start believing in a negative reality that they haven't seen yet, but are frightened that it's going to happen, that's a use of faith. And when that very same person says, I wish I had more faith, my response would be, why don't you take some from the fear? Transform the fear into faith, into the ability to believe in something positive that you haven't seen. And so little by little, we have the opportunity to help New Thought students let go of a belief that the Christ is something that some people get as a gift after we're here. Christ is our divine nature, our physical, spiritual, mental, emotional nature. Christ is within us and with us all the time. And the powers, we have all the powers that we need. The name of the game is to take some of that power that we've invested into negative displays of emotion, of intellect, of physicality, and shift it to a more positive use of that power. This is so important. Why? Because, as I say as often as I can, we are not dualists. We don't have two powers, spirit and Satan. If we did, then there would be a power called evil, and there would be a fight, an eternal struggle, as we've read in many theologies, of good against evil. In Unity, we are doing everything we can to let go of that old mindset and embrace a new idea called wholeness on the spectrum of consciousness. I'm overusing it, I'm underusing it, I might even be ignoring it, but it's never absent from us. So we'll talk more about that. We'll talk more about the 12 powers when we come back from listening to some wonderful music from Brett Mitchell and Matthew J. Evans.
Here's a wonderful Christmas song from Vince Guaraldi and Lee Mendelsohn from 1965. The Charlie Brown Peanuts Christmas Special. Christmas Time Is Here is the name of the song. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. Christmas time is here, happiness and cheer, fun for all that children call their favorite time of year. Snowflakes in the air, carols everywhere, olden times and ancient rhymes of love and dreams to share. Sleigh bells in the air, beauty everywhere, Yuletide by the fireside, joyful memories there. Christmas time is here, families drawing near. Such spirit through the year. Sleigh bells in the air, beauty everywhere, Yuletide by the fireside, and joyful memories there. Christmas time is here, families drawing near. Oh, that we could always see such spirit through the year. Oh, that we could always see such spirit through the year. Oh, that we could see such spirit through the year.
Thank you so much, Brett and Matthew. That was just absolutely beautiful. I think that's one of the most beautiful of all of the holiday songs, so thank you so much. There's something I'd like to share with you now, and that is a Christmas song that means quite a great deal to me and to Matthew. Now, I've been at Unity of San Luis Obispo for more than 27 years, and my son Matthew is 25. And every year since he's been alive, I have sung at one of our Sunday services, "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas." And I would like to continue that tradition by sharing it with you now. Only this time, Matthew is going to be accompanying me on the piano, so it's a special treat. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, our troubles will be miles away. Here we are as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, travel near to us once more. Through the years we all will be together, if the fates allow. Hang a shining star upon the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now. Here we are as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, travel near to us once more. Through the years we all will be together, if the fates allow. Hang a shining star upon the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now. So let us come back to talking about the way the 12 powers work in our lives, and how we don't have an absence of the power, but very often the power is being misused inadvertently or unconsciously by us. And it's not that we're missing that component in our nature, it's just that we have been using it to affirm the negative. So right now, I want to talk about one of those powers that is most often misused because it's misunderstood, and that is the divine faculty or the divine power of love. First of all, love is much more than an emotion. I know that when we speak of love, most of the time, we're speaking of personal affection. We're speaking of a connection with those near and dear to us. There are times also when we can use the term love in a universal sense, and that is when we lift ourselves out of the personal connection and get into the agape, or the wider use, the more metaphysical use of the term love, and we have a feeling of embracing the entire human family. And so love comes in different forms. But when we talk about love in terms of the 12 powers, we're talking about love as more than a feeling, more than an emotional display, more than something that involves our personal or subjective nature. We're talking about the power of love as a spiritual faculty, a power that unites and brings together all life. That power at the most rudimentary level can be understood as gravity. Gravity unites all things unto itself. There is something that attracts us, something that moves us, that is something that we see in ourselves and that we see in others, and we embrace that. Again, when we're talking about gravity or any kind of scientific phenomenon, we know that we're not talking specifically about our personal feelings, but we're talking about a power that responds to our use of it, our faith in it. And so ideally, we would recognize love as very powerful and to be very clear about what we identify with in consciousness, because what we identify with, we will attract to us. Sometimes those beliefs are so fundamental that we're not exactly sure we're carrying them. And the only way to really find out if we believe a certain thing is to take a look and see how life is presenting itself to us. Because while we can't change everything that happens to us or around us, we know we can always change how we respond to it. And when we hold ideas, when we identify negatively, life doesn't treat me fairly, I never get a good job, my car always breaks down at important events. I mean, from the most superficial to the deepest level of self-rejection, when we engage in those beliefs, we are exercising the power of love in such a way that the universe will unite us with what we affirm. Let me just say that again. Whatever I affirm at the deepest level of my being in relation to what I am, what I'm not a good person. I'm not an accomplished person. I'm not a talented person. Those beliefs will find verification in the outer world. It doesn't mean that it's true, but it becomes true for us. Because not only are we inadvertently using the power of love without realizing how powerful it is, and it is the greatest power in the world, but we easily can end up loving what we don't like, what we fear, what we loathe the most, because we're unifying ourselves with that belief. Any belief that we unify ourselves with is going to draw more of that into our experience. If we remembered that throughout the course of our day, if we remembered that which I hold in mind that has produced drastically negative results and that we identify with because we erroneously believe that we are lacking, the power of love will seek to unite us with that which we hold in mind. Now you say, wait a minute, that's not really fair. No, seriously, that's not fair, because I don't want that in my life. I'm afraid of that in my life. I can't be around that in my life, and so why do I see it all the time? Because the power of love unites us with that which is deepest in ourselves. And we've got work to do. We've got work to do. I'm reminded of a story that actually set my way of teaching about the powers and about love, set my way of teaching it in a new way. It was an acquaintance that I met at a very large dinner many years ago, and it was one of those things where it was girls' night out, ladies' night out. And so, what is the most fun thing, and I'm using quotation marks in that, the most fun thing to do at a ladies' night out is to bash men. And so, one of the young women who was there had counseled with me, and her deepest wish was to find a man, a life partner with whom she could share her life, someone she could trust, someone who loved her, someone who admired her, someone who appreciated her, someone who was faithful, and down the list of all of the most wonderful attributes one could wish for. And I shared with her that she needed to continue to hold ideas in her mind of attracting to her that which honored her deepest wishes, and recognize that those affirmations are more than just happy things to say, repeating them over and over and over again, recognizing when we're getting into an old mindset, repeating them again, writing about them, talking about them, preparing ourselves for the good. All of those things can lift and transform old beliefs. And the power of love will then do its work attracting that which we consciously affirm instead of the old negative beliefs that we were unconscious about affirming. Okay, so this woman was there. And, it was men bashing time. And so she started, men are this and they're that and they're not trustworthy and you can't trust them. And, she started thinking of joking ways in which they could fall off a mountain or drown on a fishing trip. And it was just endless. I understood what it was. It was drinking a little too much, laughing a little too much, releasing the tension of all of the pain that those failed relationships of the past had brought, and finding a way to just let loose of some of that pent up and negative emotion. I got that. However, the next time she came to me for counseling, I said, let me explain a little about the divine faculty of love. Love wants to unite us with that which is our deepest and strongest affirmation. Everyone you have met for a very long time has cheated on you, right? She said, oh, yeah, because men are... And I said, wait a minute. It happens. Those things do happen. I'm not saying they don't. But when you can look back over a 25 or 30 year period and it's happened every time, there's only one common denominator that hasn't been acknowledged, and that would be you. This is a vast world with many people in it, and there are a lot of people, men, women, children, that are extremely trustworthy and have a high ethical standard, and all you need is one, And so if you could refrain from browbeating them and taking out your tensions and pent-up frustrations on them, you can do a mental inventory, how much time you spend on that, how much emotion you spend on that, because this is not affirming, I deserve somebody who's respectful, and it's not that benign. You are saying, these men are miserable, and you've got all this power behind your word, and the universe is listening. The universe does not punish anyone. The universe responds to the deepest level of our being. Not flights of fancy, not telling someone to drop dead, not that kind of thing. But the deepest, most intense way of using our energy, the core beliefs. We need to take a hold of understanding that power of love so that it can unite us with that which is the highest within us. And in order to do that, we must affirm the highest within us. We must continue to let go and release the senses of inadequacy that we carry. We need to transform that anger into another form of power. And we need to remember that love unites us at the deepest level of our being. And in order to experience peace, we need to always recognize that no matter who it is, no matter where we see them or under what circumstances, the truth is that we can always find something that we can unite with, because we are one in spirit. We are one in love. Let's take a deep breath now and relax as we enter into our time of inner contemplation and integration of today's message. We are blessed to be born in love and to have within us at all times the gifts of the Spirit, the Christ within. And we acknowledge and honor those powers by understanding how to use them wisely and well. Let us affirm at the depths of our being, I am one with divine love. I am love in action. I am careful to understand and accept myself and all of my behaviors, so that I may choose which of those I want to multiply in my life. I choose to be love, to know that I am loved and lovable, to know that I wish the best for myself because I deserve the best, as we all do. I am love. And so it is. Amen. Friends, before we bless our love offering, I would like to announce that there is a new grief recovery class facilitated by Diane Davison, whom I've spoken about frequently, who I believe is a wonderful facilitator of this powerful, different form of grief recovery. At any rate, this one is going to focus on the loss of pets. Too many people take for granted that we can just replace a pet or that we'll just get over it. But the fact is that for many people, pets can be an important part of our family, and there is considerable grief that is often unrequited when we lose a pet. And so starting January 4th, 2022, Diane will be facilitating this course, and please give her a call or email her, because this can be a transformative experience for you. And so let's bless the offering that we would share with Unity of San Luis Obispo, remembering that anytime we affirm lack, I haven't got the time, I haven't got enough to give, I haven't got this, I haven't got that. Anytime we affirm lack, we will see evidence of that lack in the universe. And again, I'm talking about deeply held core beliefs. And so the premise of tithing is that when we share what we believe we probably don't have, then that sets the law of attraction or the law of love in motion, so that we see evidence that we do have what it is that we seek, and that it's all within the spectrum of our consciousness. So let's take a moment to bless Unity of San Luis Obispo. We bless our continually growing social spiritual action group that meets once a month at Meadow Park. I'll tell you more about our next meeting. Please check our website and make sure that you're on our email list, and so you'll have all of that information available to you. We bless our ministry, and we give thanks that a portion of our tithes goes to projects and groups that support human rights and the preservation of our beloved planet Earth. So let's hold the gifts in our heart, and let us speak the words of this prosperity statement. God is my source. I am God's channel. In love and wisdom, I share my gifts.
Here's an original Christmas song I wrote a few years ago. It's called Irish Carol. One, two, one, two, three, four. Irish carol. A little bit of the brogue, eh?
Aye, this is such a lovely tune. It reminds me of home, it truly does.
He's an actor.
Thank you so much for that wonderful original song, Brett Mitchell, Matthew J. Evans, sharing your light, your love, your creativity. We thank you and we bless you. Let's sing our peace song, shall we?
That was meant to be, with God as creator, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyful vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Let's speak the words of our prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. Friends, please remember to press the like button and share your comments with us. We are delighted to hear from you. Also, please find out what's happening on our website, unityslow.com. We have all kinds of archived lessons. We have the Daily Word. We have a blog post with all kinds of articles that I've written over the last couple of years, and so much more. So we'd like to have your email so we can put you on our mailing list. We send out an e-newsletter every week. So have a wonderful week. Please remember to tune in next Sunday morning for our Christmas candlelighting service, a true time of transformation. And have a wonderful week. You deserve it.
Every single person living peace in what we do. Only then will our dream come true. Only then will our dream come true. Only then will our dream come true.